What's going on, everybody? It's Rocket Rob 99 again, giving my first impressions of Project Cars today. Well, it's been almost a week since the game came out, and I figured it would be a good time to give Project Cars a quick overview and let you guys know what I think about it. I'm really impressed with this title. I really am. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Obviously, standard stuff that you would see in most racing games, career mode, which I think is broken down pretty well. It lays out nicely, how you can develop your character and progress your career right from the start. Obviously, you could do solo races in a lot of different areas, and of course, everything is customizable. I mean, the number of tracks that you have to choose from, 30 environments, 110 tracks so far on release, and there is, good indications that we're going to see a DLC this year and that it will add additional areas and tracks. I've raced on most of the common tracks, Le Mans and Sonoma, and some of the tracks that you would know, and really the detail is just totally amazing. Honestly, every track I've raced on has been a challenge, and the ones that I've raced on before in other games really exceeded my expectations. The degree of things that you can change and alter in setting up your races is amazing. The number of cars, that you can have on the track, that's high numbers that we've seen in most of the console racers. Being able to set the opponent levels and their skill level against yours, and the other various things that you can do to customize the racing really is what sets this apart from any other racing title that I've ever played. You guys, I'm sure have heard this, but to go to this degree of detail and changing the weather and having the different weather conditions, being able to change the weather progression, the time progression, setting the date, being able to make it real time weather based on where you are in the world. It's just totally cool shit. Gran Turismo offered nothing like this, or nothing to this degree. Now, Drive Club had weather too, but nothing like we're seeing here in this game. Let's talk about the cars real briefly. I mean, a lot of people have said that the whole in this game is the number of cars. Well, as an initial launch, I think they've come up with a pretty good, fair number of cars and kept them diverse and within class. There is supposed to be cars released with each DLC. I think what you'll see is 4 or 5 cars, maybe 10 cars released with each DLC. As the game gains in popularity, we'll see more cars get released as they buy new licenses. As you can see, there aren't a lot of licenses already, manufacturers in the game. So there's a limited number of cars, and that's the reason why. As the game progresses and sells more and they invest more into it, I think that they will buy more vehicle licenses and we'll see a lot more cars. I like the livery packs that they have. I mean, every car has a different set of livery packs. That's another unlockable feature that you can get from DLCs. The different liveries, I think, for most of the cars are pretty cool. I mean, you have everything from just standard colors on to full-on liveries with racing decals and so on and so forth. A lot of the cars have different types of rims as you change through, the different liveries they have for each vehicle. However, I mean, there is no customization in far as livery paints or colors. I'm okay with that. I mean, I always liked that feature, but I think in this game it works. But again, back to the number of cars. I mean, there you just saw. I mean, they had the stock cars. I mean, they've really covered the gamut of the class of different types of classes of cars, and I think that for an initial launch, this was pretty darn good. I can't say that I'm impressed, and it's probably the one downside to the game. Um, Moving on to the other different things that you can do in the game. Basically, whether you're running solo, free practice, online, you can race. The setup is the same. whether you're creating a race or an event for any one of those situations, the menus work well. I mean, they're laid out well. They're self-explanatory to a certain extent as far as setting up game modes and setting up races for yourself. Um, I think the online so far is that to say that there's no features that are available in the hardline game that aren't available online. I mean, you still have the same level of customization in the tracks and the weather and the time and all that stuff, all transitions from solo to online play. Now, with reference to online play, I mean, I've gotten to play some online sessions with some other TLN members, and, the thing that impresses me, the major problems that has always been true in all racing games was rubber banding and lag. I didn't see any of this. Racing with Possessed and Empire, who each live in different parts of the country, I didn't see any type of rubber banding or lag. Even when we were racing side by side, and that was pretty impressive. Then, as of course, they have a different other modes in the game, time trials, which is you can run on any track against in any car and see how you stand against the world. And then they have community events, which change and are set up for limited times, different courses, different cars. It's very challenging, but if you do, you get your name up on the leaderboard. Your entire career progression is available with a single menu screen, and as you can see here in the next few screens, there's a lot of depth to advancing the progression of your character and career as you play the game. I mean, this adds a lot to it. I mean, that where you can do different challenges and assignments to acquire different accolades in the game. You can also save videos of your best races and save it there to your driver network. Um, I found it to be pretty interesting. The garage, I think, works pretty well. You could set up any car in the game that you want for any course and have it the way you want it to be for that course, and that's what you save in your garage. Um, but the degree of customization into the different things that you can tweak in the game really adds to the experience where you can, customize so many different aspects. I love the fact that you can customize the HUD. This is a new thing that, I've been waiting for in every racing game that I've ever played. And I was so happy to see this feature in Project Cars, and it works just the way they said it was going to work. Uh, Overall, I thought that, as the menus were laid out, I thought that they worked out very well, and there's a lot of different options in how you can play the game. The career mode works in a standard type calendar type system, which we've seen 100 different times in other different games, but the ability to tweak each and every single session really adds to making it again more of a better overall experience. As you play the game, the weather effects are just what you have seen before in other games, but I think they do it better. The lighting effects added to the weather conditions that are in the game far surpass what we saw in Drive Club, which was great to begin with. This beats it even in Drive Club, at least honestly from my perspective. The reflection in the water, even, and how it adversely affects how you drive the car, really makes a huge difference. The ability to have different views that work in the car, the different ways you want to race in the game, having in-car views, there's multiple in-car views as you've heard. The helmet cam is cool. The chase cam is even customizable that you can set it how far back it's from the car. I mean, it's just an unbelievable amount of customization. And as you see here in this clip, here is two TLM members. We're side by side, door handle to door handle. There's no lag, no rubber banding. I mean, it's just really the complete package. I recently saw the IGN review of it, and they gave it a yeah, an 8.9. I have to agree with that, and I would say maybe 9.0. It has everything that they said that it was going to have, and everything that they promised that they were going to put in the game, and just everything that I've played with the games, so far has just exceeded my expectations. Graphically, gameplay wise, menu wise, everything is, just really spot on. I can't think of another phrase. So my first impression of it is really, 8.9 to 9.0. I recommend it to anybody that likes racing titles. It is not an arcade racer, but you'll still enjoy the game no matter what. For TLN, this is Rocket Rob 99, and this has been my first impression of Project Cars. You all have a good night.